Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is Austin Linney here with your Wednesday Rant. I hope everybody's having a good day today. You know, something we're going to talk about today. I had dinner with a friend last night, Josh Wakefield, and I tell you what, he made an interesting comment about information. And information can be thought of in so many ways. Information on how much you should invest, on how much knowledge you have in investing. You know, the news out there, what's going on in the world, you know, how much information is being brought into you with so much being brought into you with the news, YouTube, Twitter, social media, and everything. And I just want to make sure, he said that the big issue in the world and in America is that we have too much information. Nobody knows what to trust. Nobody knows what to do. And my thought behind that is he's 100% right. But more importantly, what it says to me is be careful and make sure you filter the information that you're listening to. And at the end of the day, the only really person that you should be listening to is yourself. And that's the truth. And, you know, we want to know everything. And I think knowledge is great. But when we have too much things to pick from, when we have too many options, we tend to either take no action or be very indecisive, or more importantly, take the wrong advice from somebody that is not living in their truths, is not really who they are. This is scam artists. These are people on social media that are lying to you and not doing all these things, or that news outlet is saying that. And I don't even watch the news myself. But it made me think about investors, and we want to know everything. We want to know the nuts and bolts. We want to know all these things. And I think it's great to know what you're talking about. I think it's great to know what you're doing when it comes to investing. But what you need to make sure is that you're acting, right? And you're really only going to know the inside of a flip by doing one. You're really only going to know the due diligence of a multifamily is by doing one. So be careful. First of all, the information you're bringing in, but also be careful how much information you need to take in to take action. And imperfect action leads to great results. And so what I'm trying to say to you is cut out the noise, cut out the BS, and listen to yourself and listen to the guidance of you. And that's what this whole podcast, this whole thing is about, is making sure that success is dictated on your terms, making sure what you want and your goals are for you. And when we get too much outside information, we allow ourselves to be jaded or fogged in on the true things that we want in life. It's a very important point. He said it, and I was like, holy shit, that's a really good point. Because, Fox News is saying that. Well, this investor's saying that. Well, that's doing that. You get what see what I'm trying to get across here? At some point, you have to fail forward. And everybody that I've interviewed, everybody that I've talked to that is big in the investor game, or you deem successful, right? Whatever that fucking means, has failed. And so what I'm trying to get across to you is that information is amazing, but too much information creates stagnancy and creates you not doing anything, not taking any action. And it's a theory I had when these young kids have a bunch of units and they're just failing forward and they don't really care, and they wake up one day and they have a bunch of stuff. So it's never going to be the right time. It's never going to be perfect. It's never one of those things. The universe will give you what you want, and I promise you it'll look nothing like you think it's going to look like. If anybody can attest to that, it's this guy right here. Because all these things that I envisioned, or the stories that I created, the expectations that I put on it, nothing has happened the way that it's supposed to. And what it's doing is it's telling me, no, this is the path you're walking. Hard, bad, or indifferent, this is the route you're going on. And that's okay. And we have a tendency to look to others and look up to others because they have this golden ticket, or they have this secret success, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, it must have been an overnight success. No, these people worked. Andy Frisella tells the story all the time. The first 10 years of First Form, they made nothing. The dude was sleeping in a store. He was bouncing. And then now they're worth a $600 million revenue company a year. hey man, it must have been an overnight success. No, it wasn't. And he didn't take in a ton of information. He just put in the work. So be careful of the information that you're putting in your head, but more importantly, make sure that you're not taking on too much information that's leading to no action, because that's not going to get you anywhere. So I'd rather you go out and fail a couple times and learn, because you're going to learn more from failing, like I did. I learned more from losing $26,000 than I've ever have in my entire existence on this planet. It taught me flaws in who I was as a person, in business. It taught me flaws as a business partner. And you can choose to look at that any which way you want. And I choose to use it as an example on to be better and do better. And I have. And so be careful with the amount of information you're bringing in, but also be very careful who's bringing that information to you, and make sure you vet it out. Because we get so excited, and I'm guilty of one, of getting energy, and you're so excited to do this and you haven't vetted out, you haven't asked the right questions. As my mentor would say, make sure your audio matches the video. There's a lot of people talking out there. And make sure that the people you're following, or the information that you're taking in, are people that are actually doing it instead of not doing it. So I hope you got something out of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Share it with your friends. Make sure you review it for us, and y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.